Sabahınız xeyir olsun, xoş gördük hər birinizi. Mənim adım İlqar Orucov. Mən bir çoxlarıyla tanışam artıq, çünki bir neçə tədbirlərdə iştirak edə bildim. Təəssüf ki, bir neçəsinə qatıla bilmədim. Mən Azərbaycan Gənc alim, doktorant və magistrlar cəmiyyətinin sədriyəm. Eyni zamanda Təhsil Nazirliyi yanında İctimai Şuranın üzvüyəm. Həmçinin Cənab Prezidentin sərəncamı ilə Azərbaycan Respublikası Qeyri-Hökumət Təşkilatlarına Dövlət Dəstəyi Agentliyinin Müşahidə Şurasının üzvüyəm və orada elm, təhsil, texnika, mədəniyyət, eyni zamanda Azərbaycançılığın təşviqi istiqamətlərini kurasiya edirəm. Bugün sizinlə birgə olmaq mənim üçün çox xoşdur. Bizim bugünkü tədbirimizdə 6 universitetin gənc tədqiqatçıları, magistrlar, doktorantlar, dissertantlar və PhD-lər iştirak edir. Buyuruz, əyləşin. İştirak edirlər. Deməli, Az.Texniki Universiteti, Bakı Mühəndislik Universiteti, Bakı Dövlət, Memarlıq İnşaat, Mədəniyyət və İncəsənət, eyni zamanda Azərbaycan Milli Konservatoriyasının gənc tədqiqatçıları iştirak edirlər. Mən bir daha hər birinizi salamlayıram. Bizə bugünkü bu sizinlə görüş üçün bu gözəl zalı ayırdığına görə, bu imkanı şərait yaratdığına görə Texniki Universitetin rektoru, hörmətli professorumuz Vilayət müəllim Vəliyevə təşəkkürümü bildirirəm. Eyni zamanda biz sizinlə Open Science Azərbaycan gənc tədqiqatçılar arasında Open Science platformasının təbliği layihəsi çərçivəsində görüşürük və əlbəttə ki, Open Science-ə Azərbaycanda geniş yayılması məqsədi ilə bizim təşəbbüslərimizə dəstək verən Təhsil Nazirimiz Emin müəllimi təşəkkürümü bildirirəm. Eyni zamanda sizin adınızdan qeyd eləmək istəyirəm ki, bugünkü bizim tədbirdə bizim bir qonağımız iştirak edir. Macarıstanın Gənc Alimlər Assosiasiyasının rəhbəridir. Peter Sızavo bizim çoxdan ki dostumuzdur. Peter'in sizin üçün bir təqdimatı olacaq. Əlbəttə ki, bu təqdimat ingilis dilində olacaq və biz universitet rektorlarından danışanda qeyd eləmişdik ki, buyuruz xanım, əyləşin. Biz xahiş eləmişdik ki, bizim sizinlə universitetlərdə görüşlərimizdə hər birində 80 nəfərlik bir heyətlə bizim ilk Azərbaycan dilində təqdimat olmuşdu və biz növbəti mərhələdə məsləhət belə oldu ki, biz 25 nəfərlik bir heyətlə növbəti seminarda universitetlərdən dil bilən, xarici dili bilən gəncləri bu tədbirə cəlb eləyək və beynəlmiləli beynəlxalq ekspertin bir sizin üçün təqdimatı olsun və Open Science ilə bağlı ümumiyyətlə dünyada hansı işlər görülür, bu istiqamətdə hansı təcrübələr mövcuddur, Open Science-in sizin üçün, gənc tədqiqatçılar üçün yaratdığı imkanlar nədən ibarətdir? Bu istiqamətdə deməli sizə müvafiq informasiyalar versinlər və düşünürəm ki, tədbir sizin üçün faydalı olacaq. Biz Open Science ilə bağlı indiyə qədər Azərbaycanda bir neçə pilot işlər görmüşdük. Və bəlkə də burada iştirak edənlərdən var. Mən baxıram, Səbuhi müəllimi gördüm. 3 il bundan öncə biz Open Science təcrübəsini Azərbaycana gətirərkən Bakı Konqres Mərkəzində böyük bir konferansımız oldu və 3 universiteti pilot olaraq seçmişdik o zaman. Amma bu dəfə biz 18 universitetdə Open Science ilə bağlı təqdimatlar elədik. Və bu universitetlərin 5-i regionlara əhatə edirdi. 5-i regionlara əhatə edirdi və bütövlükdə bizim hədəfimizdə odur ki, dünyanın elm və təhsil tutumlu ölkələrinin hədəfdə məhz Open Science-in daha geniş, deməli, tədqiqatçılar arasında yayılması təcrübəsini biz ölkəmizdə tətbiq edək və beləliklə də hesab edirəm ki, biz ilk dəfə müəyyən bu istiqamətdə nailiyyətlər əldə edə biləcəyik. Open Science sizin üçün əslində çox geniş imkanlar yaradır. Bu təkcə sizin apardığınız tədqiqatlara çıxışı təmin etmə məqsədi ilə məhz sizin tədqiqatçı olaraq tanınmağınız və reyting əldə etməyiniz üçün faydalıdır. Eyni zamanda bu sizin çalışdığınız müəssisənin reytinginin qaldırılmasına dəstək verən bir alətdir. Digər tərəfdən yekunda bu ölkəmizin bütövlükdə beynəlxalq deməli indekslərdə reytinginin artmasına dəstək verən bir alətdir. Azərbaycanda ölkə başçısı tərəfindən elmlə bağlı məhz Azərbaycanın elm tutumlu ölkə olaraq formalaşdırmaq istiqamətində çox böyük iradə mövcuddur və dünyada gedən elmi texnoloji proseslər cəmiyyət həyatını xeyli sürətləndirir və artıq biz 4-cü sənaye inqilabı dövründə yaşayırıq və 4-cü sənaye inqilabının məhsulları olan ağıllı universitetlər, eyni zamanda texnologiyalara əsaslanan, rəqəmsallaşmaya əsaslanan biliklər iqtisadiyyatının formalaşmasına hədəflənmişdir və bununla bağlı da bizim ölkəmizdə məhz 4-cü sənaye inqilabına keçid təmin etmə məqsədi ilə ölkə başçımız tərəfindən 4-cü sənaye inqilabının təhlili və koordinasiya mərkəzi publik hüquqi şəxsi yaradılmışdır. Eyni zamanda Open Science-ın və Open Access-nin daha geniş yayılması üçün deməli beynəlxalq reytinqlər üzrə Milli Komissiyanın müvafiq qərarı var və bu istiqamətdə də məhz bu qərarın icrasını təmin etmə məqsədi ilə bizə deməli bugün sizinlə görüşdüyümüz universitetdə, Texniki Universitetdə deməli Open Science Milli Təbliğat Mərkəzi artıq istifadəyə verilmişdir. Siz o mərkəzlə sıx əməkdaşlığı ümid edirəm edəcəksiniz və biz təsadüfi deyil ki, Open Science-la bağlı seminarları keçirdiyimiz universitetlərdə biz məhz sizlərin arasından, əlbəttə ki, bizim üçün burada universitet rəhbərliyinin də mövqeyi vacibidir. Çünki onlar sizi bizdən daha yaxşı tanıyırlar və bu baxımdan biz müraciət elədik ki, hər universitetdə bir nəfər koordinator və bir nəfər deməli həmin koordinatora kömək edən şəxsləri bizim üçün müəyyənləşdirsinlər və bütövlükdə Open Science-la bağlı gələcək işləri koordinasiya edilməsi üçün biz məhz o koordinatorlardan və eyni zamanda sizlərdən istifadə edək. Mən əminəm ki, bizim həmin o təbliğat mərkəzimizdən siz mütəmadi işləyəcəksiniz, əməkdaşlıq edəcəksiniz və bu baxımdan da biz sizinlə gələcək əməkdaşlığa çox böyük ümidlər edirik və əlbəttə ki, elmimizin gələcəyi sizlərdən asılıdır. Bizim keçən dəfə bəzi görüşlərdə mən iştirak eləmişdim. Bizim hədəfdə əslində gənc alimlərlə bağlı daha böyük işlərin görülməsini planlaşdırırıq. Mən sizə xatırlatmışdım, biz bəlkə də burada iştirakçılardan var, biz dünyada gənc alimlərin ən böyük tədbirlərinin təşkilatçısı və təşəbbüsçüsü bizim qurum olubdur və biz ilk dəfə Dünya Gənc Alimlərinin forumunu keçirərkən bir ilkə imza atmışdıq və bu təcrübələrin daha növbəti illərdə məhz sizlərin iştirakı ilə, məhz sizlərin qatqısı ilə yenidən keçirilməsi planlaşdırılır. Biz qoşulmama hərəkatı ölkələrinin gənc alimlərinin milli, deməli, daha sonra beynəlxalq şəbəkəsini formalaşdırmaq üzərində işləyirik, çalışırıq və düşünürəm ki, bu işdə ən azından Azərbaycanın milli düşüncəli gəncləri olaraq, eyni zamanda intellektual potensialını özünə daşıyan gənclər olaraq, tədqiqatçılar olaraq sizlər bizə kömək edəcəksiniz. Bilirsiniz ki, 44 günlük vətən müharibəsində həqiqətən də qoşulmama hərəkatına üzv olan deməli, ölkələri azad dövlətimizə çox böyük siyasi dəstək ifadə etdilər və əlbəttə ki, bu şəbəkənin yaradılması nə qədər ki, bu təşkilata rəhbərlik Azərbaycan üzərindədir. Hesab edirəm ki, bu əlbəttə ki, eyni zamanda sizin beynəlxalq deməli beynəlxalq əlaqələrinizin genişlənməsinə, kommunikasiyaların qurulmasına kömək edəcək və bu baxımdan da mən sizi bu istiqamətdə də bizimlə birgə olmağa dəvət edirəm. İndi mən sözü vermək istəyirəm Peterə. Peterin təqdimatı olacaq və əlbəttə ki, tədbirin yekununda biz müzakirələr üçün yer ayırmışıq. O müzakirələrdə mən sizin hər birinizi aktiv olmağa dəvət edirəm. Hətta Peterin təqdimatı zamanı belə istənilən vaxtı siz müdaxilə edə bilərsiniz, suallarınızı verə bilərsiniz. Heç tədbirin sonunu gözləməyə də belə bir ehtiyac yoxdur. Ona görə də əminəm ki, sizin deməli, bugünkü tədbirdə aktivliyiniz, bugünkü tədbirin bir parçası olaraq əlbəttə ki, burada iştirakınız çox vacibdir və mən sizi bu aktivliyə dəvət edirəm. Diqqətinizə görə təşəkkür edirəm. Mən də sözü verirəm Peterə. Peter, please.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear conference participants, I would like to welcome you with great respect. My name is Péter Szabó. I am the president of the Hungarian Foundation of Science and Innovation Management. I'm also an assistant professor at the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences. First of all, I would like to thank the Azerbaijan Young Scientists, Postgraduates and Masters Union for the kind invitation. It's a great honor for me to be here and greet you. Since Azerbaijan has been a stable partner, ally and a friend of Hungary, I was here in 2019 in February, and I'm really happy to be here again with you. In recent years, the cooperation between the two countries has been outstanding. Their relations are strategic. This is especially true in the field of education and higher education as well. As you know, Azerbaijan young people can receive a scholarship in Hungary in compliance with the bilateral scholarship agreement concluded in 2012. The scholarship covers their tuition, dormitory and mostly spending money. The Azerbaijani-Hungarian Youth Union, created by Hungarians and Azerbaijan young people studying and working in Hungary, is also operating. Their main goal is to develop the Hungarian and Azerbaijani young youth relations through communication between the two groups. As an agricultural expert, I'm also pleased there has been great progress in the cooperation between the two countries in the field of agriculture and food processing as well, particularly in the field of greenhouse constructions. Can I? Next to the next slide. Or not? How can I use this presenter? Please help me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let me introduce myself briefly. As I mentioned, I'm an assistant lecturer at the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and I'm also the president of the Hungarian Foundation for Innovation and science and innovation management, and I was also responsible for the digital movement, the digital higher education in Hungary. I work for the Ministry of Innovation, and I was the member of the Digital Wellbeing Program. And I was also the president of the Association of Hungarian PhD and DLA candidates in Hungary. And let me introduce my university as well. The name of my university is the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences. It was the former Szent István University in Hungary. And this university is quite new university in Hungary, one of the largest agriculture-focused, multidisciplinary higher education institutions in Europe. It was, as I mentioned, it was established on the 1st of February 2021. And here you can see in this slide, can I, oh, sorry, no. I can't, yeah. So this is Hungary. You can find it the right side of the slide. I come from Keszthely. Keszthely is situated next to the Lake Balaton. Lake Balaton is one of the biggest lake in Europe, and here you can find some information about our university. We deal with agricultural sciences mainly, but we offer high-level training programs in the field of economic sciences, natural sciences, social sciences, and of course engineering sciences as well. Okay, and today the conference examines a really current topic, which is open science, and today I'm going to talk about the open science topic and open access topic, which is, I think, really important topic nowadays for the young researchers. So I would like to tell about some practical advice on open access publishing for you, which could be interesting. And I would like to tell about the Hungarian Research, Development and Innovation Program, and I would like to give you an overview about the higher education system in Hungary, and I would like to answer to the question that what do we mean by digital transformation of higher education, what is the current state of digitalization in Hungarian higher education, and how have national policies tried to address these challenges. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to give you some interesting scholarship opportunities. So let's first with a game, let's play a little bit at the beginning of my presentation. Please use your smartphone, and if it is possible, please read this QR code if you have your smartphone. But if you haven't got a QR code reader, you can use this website, menti.com. So please do it now. And if you write this address, menti.com, you have to write the voting code, which is 9922673 and 6. But you can also use this QR code. And you will have 2 questions, and please answer to these questions. Yes, yes. Yes, 3 words is the maximum. You have to write 3 words, and the question, what comes to mind about open science? This is the first question. So please write 3 words about open science. I'm waiting 1 minute to do this and to fill this form, or maybe half minute is enough. Is it work? Is it working? Okay. Okay, and the second question. Have you ever published in an open access journal? Please answer to this question. This is the second question. If you click on the next page, you can reach this question. Okay, and please answer. I'm waiting half minute. And after then, I would like to ask the colleagues to click on this link, and let's see the results. Is it working? Please click on this link if it is possible. Yes, yes, open it, please. Oh, it's not working? Ah, you didn't see the second question. Nem lehet látni? Aha. Okay, please only the first answer only the first question. Okay, let's see the results. It will be a cloud, a word cloud. I hope that. Okay, let's check it. Oh, really beautiful. Okay, knowledge, science, research are the most popular words about open science, in your opinion. And innovation, accessible knowledge, source, oh, quite good. Okay, open science, free articles, really good. Free access to sources, yes. Scientific research opportunity. Free download, it's really important. Great. Okay, and set of approaches, it is also good. Communication, really good. Global learning, share, modern. Okay, really good. Okay. Okay. Let's next to the next question. Let's turn to the next question. Maybe is it working, or I don't know. Yes, it's not working. Okay. Thank you very much for your participation. Please let's back to my presentation. Thank you very much for participating in this voting program. Okay, and now I'm going to talk about the open science topic. The Berlin Declaration on open science to knowledge in the science and humanities, it was the 22 of October 2003, was written in English, and it is one of the milestones of the open access movement. The wording of the English version shall prevail. And what does open science mean? It means that establishing open access as a worthwhile procedure ideally requires the active commitment of each and every individual producer of scientific knowledge and holder of cultural heritage. Open access contributions include original scientific research results, raw data and metadata. It's really important. Source materials, what you mentioned previously, digital representations of pictorial and geographical materials and scholarly multimedia material. So this was a milestone of open science topic. I think it is really important for us. Open science, it is such scientific practice which allows collaboration, as you can see in this picture. Free use, it is also really important. Recycling, reproduction and distribution of research data, laboratory records and other informations generated in research process. And it is a movement, as I mentioned, in which research is collaborative, transparent and accessible, as you can see in this picture. Its main objective is to promote the continuous development of research and science organization. Digital technologies are used to share the knowledge generated this way. The problem is known in my opinion. The subscription fee to scientific journals has increased significantly, which is a problem for all research organizations, even the big ones. This is not a problem of some countries, of some institutions, but a global trend. It is interesting. Let me give you one example of this fact. The Harvard University also had to cancel the subscription for some journals because the costs have increased too high. We try to solve this problem by providing free access to scientific journals. And why is it important for us? You can see in this picture why is open science important for us. Let me give you some expressions regarding these topics. First of all, which is important for us, the first thing I have to mention that researchers in developing countries can see your results, can see the practitioners, the results. Citizens can get value for their investments. For example, you can fulfill your subvention rules, for example, and I think it is also very important that the public will have access to research results, and as I mentioned, practitioners can apply your findings, so the practical workers, the companies will have access to the practical results, the practical methods, and it is also very important, I think, as you can see, your research can influence the policy, which is, I think, very important nowadays as well. I think today it is unacceptable that researchers acquire grants, for example, for results, produce scientific results, and criticize articles in periodicals or different journals, and they still have to pay exorbitant amounts to have their own results published. This is a fundamental transformation that is very important for us to reduce the cost of scientific communication and not to increase it. Access to research results for every involved person contributes to better and more efficient science and also innovation in both the public and private sectors. With the widespread use of open access, almost everyone will be able to get access to scientific information from secondary schools to innovative companies, as you can see in this picture. Okay, and now let's talk about some crises of scientific communications, because I think we are in this crisis situation because the commercial publishers have increasingly taken control of the scientific journals market. I think it is a big problem, and the prices of journals also outpace general inflation, which is also a very big problem, I think, in the scientific life. And the range of scientific journals which have become increasingly difficult to access has expanded significantly, which is also a big problem, I think. So we have new challenges in the scientific life. The spread of electronic publishing is becoming more and more significant. The first thing what I have to mention, that at the request of publishers, authors transferred copyright to the publishers and had to obtain special permissions from the publisher to use their own work. In order to disseminate the results openly, authors must insist on their rights, so I think it's really important. And the growth of journals and their rising prices are forcing libraries to unsubscribe these journals, and that's why you will have won't have access to these journals, and cancellations will lead to another increase in journal prices, so the prices are becoming more and more. And the results of this vicious circle is a dwindling readership and limited access to information, which is also a very big problem. And surveys show that achieving open access to research increases their impact and visibility. I think this is one of the advantage of open science. And furthermore, the movement draws the attention of authors to their conscious handling of copyright. For example, the Sherpa or Romeo database provides information on publishers' open access policies. And finally, in order to ensure open access to scientific works, more and more institutions or scientific societies are creating repositories into which authors can upload their works. I think it can work also in your country. And the directory of open access repositories, for example, the Open Door, collects and provides information on scientific open access repositories around all over the world. And my first practical question is where to publish open science. I think this question is very important. Nowadays, more and more publications are being published, so the number of the publication is increasing more and more, and approximately more than 28,000 publishers publish in 1.5 million journal articles annually, so I think it's a huge number. And a new journal is launched every week, so not every month, for example, every week. So it's very difficult to find up-to-date information on where to publish and which are the trusted publishers. So we need to make sure the journal we are publishing meets our scientific expectations. And the second practical question is where to publish open access. I think there are some aspects we have to consider. For example, do you know the journal you want to publish in? Have you read any articles about it? So have you read any articles in this journal? Do you know the articles in this journal? Are articles previously published in a journal? It is easy to find, and is the publisher identifiable or accessible? I think these are also very important questions. And the third one, does the journal clearly describe the proofreading procedure? I think it can be hard as well. Are the articles indexed in database we use? For example, in Scopus, in CAB abstracts, or maybe the food science and technology abstracts is also a very important question. Does the journal specify the article processing charge, briefly APC? And are familiar researchers members of the editorial board? So we have to find the editorial board of this journal, and we have to examine the editorial board. Are they familiar for us, and are they recognized internationally? Recognize research in your field, for example, in the field of education, in the field of business, and so on. And is the publisher a member of the Committee on Publication Ethics, briefly COPE, or the International Association of Scientific, Technical, or maybe Medical Publishers? If your journal is open access, Does it list the directory of open access journal, DOAG? You can find it on the website. And of course, we have to find that, are you a member of the Open Access Publishers Associations? Okay, and let's turn to the next presentation, next slide. How to publish open access, it's really important legally and for free. Okay, let's see this picture. The first question, do you know free open access journals? Let's examine this first question. If yes, you have to publish in this journal as an easiest way. And in this case, you have to check out this website. This is my suggestion, thinkchecksubmit.org, or maybe you can use the DOAG website as well. I think it is also a very good web page to find some information about the journals. But if not, if you don't know any free open access journal, the next question, do you have open access support? For example, from your university, from your research organization. If yes, you have to have your publication, and also you have to check your sponsors at your library or at your university. And the next question, if you don't have open access support, the next question, can you publish post-print or can you publish preprint? I don't know, do you know these expressions? Post-print means that edited copyright manuscript to a publication without any layout, and the preprint meaning that author's manuscript about to be proofread. And in this case, if you have post-print manuscript or preprint manuscript, you have to check this website. This is my suggestion, Sherpa AC.UK per Romeo. This is one of the very useful website as what I can recommend you. Okay, and if not, you have to choose another journal. Okay, and I think this is also a very important topic, because there are some predator journals. I don't know, do you know any predator journals? I have experience in this field this way. Predator journals means that they are operating for only financial gain without any scientific background, taking advantage of the scientific performance compulsion of researchers. And if it is a big problem as far as I know, because if a researcher publishes an article in this kind of predator journal, there is a risk that he or she will not be able to republish that article in a serious, in a normal scientific journal. It does not shine a good light on your scientific work, and if you publish in a journal where the scientific professional background is lacking, so it is advisable to examine the journal carefully before the article is published. And it is also very important that there are several criteria that can help you decide if a particular journal is a predator journal. It is very difficult to decide because some criteria can be characteristics of authentic open access journal as well. And if you have the slightest suspicion that the journal is a predator, it is a good idea to ask for help or refrain from publishing. Okay, and I have another slide about the predator journals. Where can you find that this journal is predator? At first, you have to examine the funding and legal issues of this journal. For example, the researcher will not be informed in advance of the communication fees. I think it's really important. The copyright of the articles is reserved by the publishers. it can be also seen it is predator journal. And the second important thing is the professionalism, because their editorial board is usually small and does not include recognized researchers in the profession team. For example, the website is unprofessional, has typos, broken links, for example, and casual ads, for example, and more any fails. And it is also usual in the field of predator journals that it hasn't got any impact factor, and articles are not selected professionally. You will send your manuscript, and after then it will be upper within a short time, and the article is published quickly without any professional proofreading. The third thing I have to mention that the name, the mission, and the scientific classification of the journal. For example, the name of the journal does not match the mission of this journal and of this organization. The journal titles are too general. For example, Journal of Education, it's too general, name of this journal. The content of the articles differs from the field of study of the journal, and impactable disciplines are included in a journal. For example, International Journal of Business, Humanities, and Technology. So these are, I think, really good examples for this fact. And the last thing I have to mention in connection with the predator journals is the contact. It is really important. Researchers are approached for articles in unsolicited emails. The publishers registers office that not match the name of the journal, for example, and they have a Western headquarters but actually operating in developing countries, the journal, and they only provide email and internet access to their contacts. They hide their actual location, the actual office of this journal. So these are the fact if this journal are predator journals, in my opinion. Okay, and what are the characteristics of serious scientific journals, so not predator journals, serious scientific journals? At first, the editorial board includes internationally recognized researchers in your scientific areas, in the scientific field. And it is also very important that the Thomson Reuters indexes and provides impact factor, and their links can be checked. This is the official logo of this Clarivat Analytics. And the third thing, I think, which is interesting and it is important, that they are listed in the directory of open access journals, briefly DOAG. Here you can find the website of DOAG. You can write the name of the journal and the scientific area, and after that you have to search of your journal, and you have to examine is it good journal or not. And the last thing, which is very important, I think the publisher is a member of OASPA. Here you can find also the website of this organization, and here you can also check the journal where you want to publish in. Okay, and there are another places for checking the journals. Here you can find some examples of this. For example, you can use the Sherpa or the Romeo, the directory of open access journal, the Web of Science journal, the COPE, and you can also surf on the official web page of the journal, and Open Access Scholarly Publishers Association, what I have also also mentioned Skimago is also really important, as I think you can know this website, and there is a Hungarian website as well. It's called MTMT. It contains the Hungarian websites. Okay, so that's it. I wanted to talk about the open science topic, and now let's overview about the Hungarian research, development and innovation, and I would like to share with you a couple of information about the Hungarian situation. I would like to highlight some interesting thing about the Hungarian higher education system. So, since 2010, the amount of research and development expenditure has doubled in Hungary, and businesses have spent 2.5 times as much as they did 10 years ago, and the GRDI increased from 1.14% to 1.50%, and the number of research and development sites increased to more than 3,500. So I think it is good increasing. And the research and development sites, 2,000 are located in companies. And I think it is a really good number. More than 93% of the research and development sites are small and middle enterprises in Hungary, and the budget of the Hungarian National Research and Innovation Management Institute has increased by 32 billion Hungarian forint in this year. So we are working on the development of research and innovation in Hungary. And let's look at the Hungarian higher education system very briefly. We have more than 280,000 students are enrolled in the higher education system in Hungary, and 77% is the earning premium of higher education educated workers compared to these without higher education. It is above than OECD average of 54%. And it is also very good data in Hungary, I think, that 31% of young people obtain higher education qualification, and the OECD average is 45%. And higher education institutions in Hungary, most students are enrolled in state-maintained university, but now they are operating as a foundation university. And 35% drop in the number of students who applied for Hungarian higher education programs between the academic years in the recent years. Here you can find some informations about the public spending on education. Now here you can see Hungary and another OECD countries. I don't want to talk about a lot about this thing. And here you can find also the public spending on education between the OECD countries, 0.33% of the GDP is Hungary, and the first one China, and the second one is the United States. And here you can find some informations about the Hungarian higher education systems. Sorry, it's Hungarian. I couldn't translate it to English. But here you can see in this picture that the orange one are the master students. The red one is the bachelor students, and the blue one is the PhD. So here you can find the proportion of different study levels. And here you can find some informations about the scientific areas in Hungary, enrolled the students in the higher education system in Hungary. As you can see, The first one are the technical studies, and then the economy and business education. After then, the third one is the health science, the fourth one is the social sciences, and after then the education sciences, informatics, human sciences, and then services. Law is not so widespread. And after then you can find the environment studies, and after then at the end of this row you can find the agriculture and the art sciences. Okay, and here you can see a map about the Hungarian higher education institutions. We have a lot of university, more than 62 university in Hungary, within this small country. The bigger universities are located in the capital, in Budapest, as you can see, and we have also bigger universities in Debrecen, in the eastern part of Hungary, and Szeged and Pécs, the south part of Hungary, and Győr in the western part of Hungary. And I come from the western part of Hungary, next to the Lake Balaton, Keszthely, and we have agricultural sciences over there. And we have a lot of policies, a lot of strategies in the field of digital transformation of the higher education institutions in Hungary. We would like to improve the digital readiness of the higher education's institutions, the digital practices, the digital performances, and so on. And let me share with you a couple of things about the Hungarian digitalization process in the field of higher education, which could be interesting. In 2020, all Hungarian institutions of higher education can use nationally integrated digital platforms for the fully digital administration of applications, registrations, and practical management of teaching and learning platforms. So, for example, via these platforms, digital platforms, you can choose courses, taking credits, and manage your exams. So we have, I think, very good systems for doing these different things. It's called Neptune system in Hungary. We can use online learning management systems. It's called e-learning systems in Hungary. We can provide Wi-Fi and broadband internet all of the Hungarian universities. We can provide some e-content and learning materials for the students, and we can provide some library services for students. And here you can see a map about Hungary. We have some industrial cooperation sites, and we have also competence centers. We have also university innovation ecosystems, national laboratories, and also science and innovation parks within these small countries. So we are working on the preparation of Hungarian innovation ecosystem. And we have a strategy in the field of digital education. We are working on a lot of development, a lot of strategies, and a lot of policies. For example, in the framework of public education, vocational education, higher adult education, and we are working on the monitoring the learning paths and equal opportunities, and also in the field of security. And we have two main projects within this policy, within this strategy, which could be interesting for you. The one of this policy is the Intelligent University Campus project. The meaning of this project like smart cities. The smart campuses use smart technologies to create new experience and services, and these internet-connected and artificial intelligence-driven smart technologies can enhance the students' and campus experience. For example, in the field of enhancing the financial support process, improving the student services, reduction of waiting times. I think it is a very important thing within the higher education, and eliminate compliance errors, reducing human errors with the help of artificial intelligence, workflow automation, for example, and conservation and efficiency of energy and resources, which is also very important thing as well. Okay, and the next very important project within this strategy is the Smart Campus project. Within this project, we have pilot applications. For example, the identification of campus infrastructure, it is onboarding now, the stakeholder research, the network computing. We have a new project in the field of smart health. Health University project, student life tracking, payment for meals by digital means. It is also very interesting, I think. And the IoT display, Internet of Things display, and search for time. So these questions are also very important, I think. And as I mentioned, I was responsible for the Hungarian digitalization, and Hungarian. I was working in the Ministry of Innovation, and in the recent years we were working on a new project. It's called Modal Change in Hungarian Tertiary Education. It meaning that these universities are operating as foundations. The first reason for the change is following foreign examples, as several of the top 100 universities in the world are also operates as foundations. Furthermore, being transformed into foundations is a global phenomenon. And the first university in Hungary was the Corvinus University of Budapest, which was changed the system of the leadership, and it was also coming from abroad, and this change can contribute to a long-term predictable management and all of these institutions to acquire sources more effectively from the private sectors, so it can work as a profit center as well, not only a university, it can work as a profit center as well. And it is also very important, I think, that after this transformation, after this change, the employees will no longer be public servants, but will instead be private sector employees. I think it is really good for the employees, for the university staff, because in the case of establishing a private sector employment relationship, the parties are free to agree on the employee's salary. I think it is really important, and salaries in the higher education institutions are becoming more and more because of this model changing in Hungary. And the higher salary would allow the best professionals to teach at the university. So I think it was really big changes in the Hungarian higher education system. And the model change would allow additional resources to be raised, as private capital would play a role in the easier and more effective financing of the university. In my university, the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, is also the part of this model changing, and I think it was a good decision to join to do this system. And I think it is also could be interesting that in Hungary we have some actions directly affecting young researchers. For example, we try to provide a supply of researchers. For example, we wanted to increase the number of PhD and DLR candidates. As I mentioned, I was the president of the Association of Hungarian PhD and DLR candidates, and we were working on this project that we have to increase the number of PhD candidates in Hungary. And we have another other goals wanted to be achieved. For example, the knowledge creating collaborations in higher education, research institutions with external actors. We would like to strengthen the scientific excellence and strengthen and make the most efficient use of existing capacities in public research sites. And it is also very important, we want to encourage international researcher mobility. And I think it is also very important that if you can see the changes, the international changes of scientific areas and training systems, you can find that the STEM fields are becoming more and more attractive within the framework of the European Union. Here you can see some data about this fact that the STEM training programs, for example, the science, the technology, the engineering and mathematics training programs are becoming more and more popular and widespread within the European Union. Here you can see the statistics in the slide. And engineering is the most popular among upper secondary vocational graduates, doctoral students as well, and favor national natural sciences. And here you can see some data about the proportion of doctoral degrees in the European Union and in Hungary as well. And that's why, here you can see the numbers, our goal was to introduction of a special training system designed to meet the needs of professionals for the technological leap forward of companies. And the solution was developing a cooperative doctoral training system in which companies and university doctoral schools jointly develop their training programs. So this cooperative training program was established in Hungary when I was the president of the Association of PhD and DLR candidates. And the aim of this doctoral program was to increase the number of employees working in the research, development and innovation segment, primarily in the STEM sectors, who are ready to extend their knowledge with the latest scientific research findings and committed to making use of their expertise to the benefit of society and the Hungarian economy, and also the Hungarian and also the worldwide economy. And the importance of this training program is that the doctoral students participating in the program and will do their doctoral research at the doctoral school, at the university, but in collaboration with the business sector. I think it is really important nowadays. And the professional coordinator and managing body of the program is the ministry, when I was working, Ministry of Innovation and Technology in Hungary. And the technical coordinator of the program is the National Research Development and Innovation Office. And I think it is really good that the grantees, the students are enrolled in this training program, will receive from net 200,000 Hungarian forint up to net 400,000 forint scholarship grant per month. So I think it is a really good opportunity to have these grants in Hungary. And The doctoral school will also receive up to some funds from the government for this doctoral program. So I think it was a good decision to establish this training program. And we have also another scholarship program in Hungary. It's called Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Program, which could be interesting for you. We discussed this scholarship program in the recent days here in Azerbaijan. The maintenance of this the significance of this training program is that you can choose from an ever-growing number of programs taught in English and covering all higher education fields at all degrees offered by the most renowned Hungarian universities. Here you can find the deadlines applying for this scholarship program in Hungary. And this scholarship program will cover all of the cost of training program, all of your accommodation fees, and all of your scholarship. So I think it is a good scholarship program. Okay, and this is my end of my presentation. I would like to thank for your invitation, and if you have any questions, please contact me via email. Thank you for your hearing me. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your presentation, Mr. Peter.
Peter?
Yeah, Peter. Okay. So I'm an English language teacher at Baku Engineering University. Nargila Behçat is speaking. I have a question. Is there any journal in Hungary, Hungarian journal, which has impact factor?
It depends on impact factor, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we have some journals. If you need any help in this case, we have a website which contains the journals which has impact factor, and we can provide this information for you. But it depends on the field of science.
Actually, my field is literature.
Yes, we have. I think we have, but I mainly focus on agriculture and these scientific areas, but I think, yes, we have.
Okay, so I have a second question as well, so I think you will moderate how to write, how to publish article in an impact factor journals, right? So my field is literature and yours is agriculture, so will it make any challenge for us? Like for me to learn and for you to teach me how to write. My field is literature. My field is literature, and yours is agriculture, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you will moderate, if I'm not mistaken, the training that how to publish article in impact factor journals, right? So our fields are different. Will it make any challenge for us? To take this training, to learn how to publish it.
You mean in the field of literature? Or?
Yeah. In the field of literature.
Yeah.
To do research, I mean.
You mean the process, or?
The process.
Yeah. I think if you want, I can give you some information regarding this, because I have, I think, a really good presentation about this fact. I can share it with you if it is really good for you.
Yeah, that will be actually of great help, because I'm really interested in the process. So will it be beneficial for us or not?
So at first you have to send your manuscript to the journal, and after that you will give proofreading. After that, as the duration of this it can be long, but you have to wait for the results, and after that you will give it back, and you have to you have to elaborate it, and after then you can publish it. Of course, you will have a lot of, you have to make, you have to gain some resources and you have to pay it. It depends on the journal, but I think it can work in this way.
Thank you. So I will email you for the procedure,
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Başqa sual var kiminsə?
Sevda Hüseyinova, Baku Engineering University, Senior Lecturer, Department of English Language. Thank you for a great presentation. I would like to have an access to this presentation as well. And also I would like to emphasize that you mentioned the Stipendium Hungarica program, scholarship program. I would like to say that I have, under my recommendation, some of my students from Baku Engineering University applied to that program, and also I provided reference letter for them as well. Yes, great program. And at the beginning I had a question actually, how to filter those commercial journals, how to get rid of them, how to not to become a victim of them, but then I found out the answer. Yes, how not to become a victim of the commercial journal that you mentioned there. I found out my answer, but later another question appeared. For example, one of my articles has been published in one of the open access journals. When it was published there, before it was published there, the journal was indexed in Copernicus. But later, when my article was published here, I found out that it is not indexed in Copernicus anymore. How to predict this? That I want to have an article in Copernicus, I'm sending it, and it is affirmed for publication, but later I found out that it is not indexed there anymore. How to predict this? How to forecast?
You can ask on the editorial team and so on. But you have to...
So before sending the article, before publication?
But yes, it's a big problem. Yeah.
Yes, and also one more question that is related to your education system. We noticed the chart, the proportion of students getting education in 3 levels. What attracted my attention is, actually we noticed the old statistics up to 2019 and 17, not the latest statistics, but
yes.
What attracted my attention was that as the year passed over, starting from 2010, the proportion of PhD students decreased.
Yes, it decreased because there were fewer master students in Hungary in the recent years, unfortunately. So there were fewer applications for PhD for PhD training programs, and after then we established that we will have more spaces for PhD candidates. Now in Hungary it is 2,000. We have 2,000 spaces for with scholarship, with scholarship, and maybe it will be increasing the number of PhD candidates in the future. So that's why we are working on this.
Yeah, great. Thank you for your answers.
I am Emilia. I am a PhD researcher of Baku State University, and I have 2 questions for you. And the first question is, what kind of journals are there in open science, and are there online scholarship programs for PhD? or
You mean the stipendium, or generally?
oh, what do you want?
In Hungary, all of the foundation universities can offer PhD degree training programs. We have training programs from agriculture to arts sciences. So in every scientific areas we can offer PhD training programs. So I think every university has training programs in English, so I think it's not a problem. And if you are a PhD candidate in Hungary, you can have, for example, this scholarship, what I have mentioned, the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship program. So you will grant as well for your studies, and you can apply for this website and after this. And what was your first question? Sorry.
First question. Are there any journals in open science?
Yes. As I mentioned, if you find this website, as I mentioned, you will have a list about the open access journals where you can find a lot of informations in the field of any scientific area. So there are a lot, but you have to be aware of what are the good journals and what are not, because there are a lot of problems, as I mentioned. So. Yeah.
Thank you for a nice presentation. And University of Culture and Arts, PhD student. And Könül, my name is. And I just watched the presentation, and I had the question about the Open Access Association. And firstly, you mentioned that we can be the members, we should be the members or not. I didn't understand. And for
the journal can be the member. The journal can be the member of this association.
Firstly, we should be the members, then we can publish the...
The journal should be the member of these associations. So not you personally, the journal, and you have to check it on this website. Is journal are the member of this association?
Oh, yeah, firstly we should check it, then we can publish there.
Yes.
It will be helpful for getting rid of the predator journals, and not to be just a victim of them. It will be helpful for this, or not?
Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Yeah, of course.
So Hanum just asked a question, and then I remember. Once I got an email from a journal to publish. I was bachelor student, and then I searched about, master, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I searched about the journal, I just Googled it, and there is actually the journal. Then I found that the email that I got from the editor was not in that website. They're just creating Freud emails and then making themselves that, we have a journal and we would like. That's also a way of making predator journal. So thank you.
I also get a lot of emails regarding publishing this journal, be part of this conference, and after I will find this website, for example, a conference website or journal website, and I will see, nice, the price of this conference or the price of the publishing fees. So we have to be aware of this fact, because, these are predators, conference organizers, and also journals. Yeah, it can be a problem.
Sorry, just can I say one thing, that as I know that in Azerbaijan we have the department where we have the list of the journals where we can publish our articles. and scientific articles, I mean. But for example, if you publish now and then maybe just you will just finish your dissertation work after 2 years, and then you just, I've heard from my friends that then they detect that that journal is not in that just department list. They take out this list from this list, then, and it means that your way you just published your article is not it's not working, and they don't need this article. That's why it's the problem that, in my opinion, if you want to just, how to say, to defend your dissertation work, and firstly, and you should do it at the same time, maybe at that year, for not losing and this part, because after a while you hear that, or you just check that it's not working.
Yes,
I don't know exactly. Is it in the same thing? It's going to in Hungary, or just it's different there?
Yeah. Yes, you are right. You have to up to date in this fact, because I think before you publish, so when you publish a manuscript in a journal, you have to check the impact factor, the distribution, the proportion of is it Q1, Q1, Q2, so what is the quality of the journal, and if your manuscript has approved, after then it should be keep it at this level. So it will be, if it has, for example, 1 or 2 impact factor, it cannot change it, the number of impact factor after then. So it will be the same.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Zabo, one more question to you. I was just sent via WhatsApp, one of my colleagues, he's attending, Mr. Kenan. So we have journals, academic journals, scientific journals, published by our university, by Bakü Engineering University, and is the collaboration and cooperation possible with you?
Yes, it would be great. We have now a new journal which was established last year, and we have got many, I think, really good journals in Hungary at all levels and all scientific areas. So yes, it would be great if we can collaborate with each other. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, you can find that.
Mən təşəkkür edirəm hər birinizə. Çox sağ olun, gəldiniz və hesab edirəm faydalı bir görüşümüz oldu sizinlə. Deməli, burada 6 ali təhsil müəssisəsinin gənc tədqiqatçıları toplaşıb. Bakı Dövlət Universitetindən sizdən bu işə məsul kimi müəyyənləşdiriblər? Siz deməyiblər. Onda biz onu soruşarıq rəhbərlikdən. Sonra Memarlıq İnşaat Universitetindən, siz. Texniki Universitetdən kimə demişdilər məsul olacaq? Yəni, əsas bizə burada növbəti bir tədbirimiz olacaq, mən onun üçün soruşuram. Bizim bir dəyirmi masamız olacaq, o Texniki Universitetdə. Yəqin ki, biz bunu bayramdan sonra planlaşdıracaq və Nazirliyin rəhbərliyi ilə biz sizinlə Open Science-la bağlı növbəti addımlarımızı müzakirə edəcəyik. Hər universitetdən 2 nəfər, bir nəfər əsas koordinator, bir nəfər də ona kömək edən şəxsi biz dəvət edəcəyik ora. Və bütövlükdə bizə Open Science-la bağlı Avropa Gənc Alimlər Şurasından çoxlu məlumatlar gəlir. Biz ona görə də bayaq o qeydiyyatları götürürük və eyni zamanda biz Open Science Azərbaycan bir Facebook səhifəsi yaradacaq və bu tədbirlərlə bağlı bütün məlumatları ora paylaşacaq. Həm bu şəkilləri oradan əldə edə bilərsiniz. Eyni zamanda YouTube-da YouTube-da sizin universitetlərdə keçirilən tədbirlərin o videoları yerləşdirilib artıq. Eyni zamanda bütün bu keçirilən seminarların bir xülasəsi hazırlanacaq və o da yerləşdiriləcək orada. Və əsas məqam odur ki, bizə mütəmadi olaraq Avropa Gənc Alimlər Şurasından məlumatlar gəlir, biz o məlumatları sizə paylaşacaq. Onu düşünürük ki, yəni ən operativ yol kimi elə biz Open Science Azərbaycan bir qrup yaradaq, bağlı qrup yaradaq. Fürsətdən istifadə edərək mən buradan deyirəm, biz o qrupu yaradacaq, siz onu axtarın və orada üzvlüklə bağlı müraciət göndərin, biz sizi orada görməyə çox şad olarıq. Oradan müxtəlif müzakirələr aparmaq olar təbii ki. Amma biz bütövlükdə növbəti deməli cari deməli aylarda, daha doğrusu bu cari ilin növbəti aylarında bu işlərin davamını əlbəttə sizinlə birgə həyata keçirəcəyik. Mən sizin hər birinizə təşəkkürümü bildirirəm, minnətdaram. Mənim üçün də çox xoş oldu. Əgər etiraz eləməsəniz, biz bir xatirə şəkli çəkə bilərik. Ya burada, ya bilməm, burada pilləkəndə də dayanıb çəkə bilərik. Oldu. Təşəkkürlər hər birinizə. Sağ olasın.